Hey everyone, so my video today is going to be on how to get rid of mastitis the fastest and easiest way possible. I've had mastitis twice. The first time I had it was at 8 days postpartum, and the second time I had it was at 2 months postpartum. I'm now 4.5 months postpartum, and I haven't had it since, and I don't think I'll be getting it anytime soon. Hopefully not. Um, Basically, mastitis is an infection of the tissue in the breast, and I don't actually know how common it is in lactating mothers, but I've heard quite a lot of people, at least in my social circle, that have had it. So um, I really feel that if I had known more about it in the beginning, I would have been able to get rid of it faster. Um, because the first time I had it, it escalated to the point where I had a really high fever, and I wound up being taken to the hospital by an ambulance and stayed overnight in the ER. My fever was 104, and it just got crazy out of control. So I feel like if I had known these things, I would have been able to deal with it better. So basically, the first kind of things to look for are um, typically when you get mastitis, because it is an infection, your body's obviously going to have a fever to try and get rid of the infection. So most times when you get mastitis, you're going to get a fever. It's typically around 101 and higher. Um, Although not all times that you get mastitis, you'll get a fever. But I don't know. That is something to look out for, though. The other thing to look out for is mastitis always um, well, not always, but most times it will be in the shape of a wedge. It'll kind of work. Mine was on this side and it was in this corner, so like from this side halfway down, if you can see, to up here, this whole corner here, and it works down like that. So this whole section here was infected, and it works down like a wedge to a point there. And the reason for that is because of all the ducts coming together down to your nipple. That's why it works down like that. So it almost always is in the shape of a wedge. So if you see that, it might be mastitis, or most likely will be mastitis. The other things are typical things from infections are to look for hotness, if it's really, really hot when you touch it, if it's red and inflamed, and if it's really, really sore. Mastitis is excruciating, and when I had it, it got to the point where it was rock hard and very painful. Um, but when it starts off, it's very, if you press, it'll be kind of, it'll feel like the very base of your chest is really, really sore and something that won't go away. That's usually the first sign of mastitis. So here's what I do. The second time I had mastitis, I knew what to do and I got rid of it really quickly, and my fever never got over 101. Whereas the first time I had it, my fever got to 104. So here's what to do. If you feel like you have a bit of a fever, you're feeling like the flu is coming on, you feel like your breast is kind of sore and it's a bit red and it's hot. It doesn't have to be all of these things. It could be just two, could be one, could be all. Doesn't matter. But if you feel like you are getting mastitis, my suggestions are these things. If you feel like you're getting a fever, you should take your temperature. If you feel like you're hot, of course, take your temperature, because if it's 101, I highly suggest taking one Tylenol. Don't take two, don't overload it, just take one so that you have that leeway of being able to take one later instead of taking two now and not being able to take another one for 6 hours, I think it is. So anyways, take a Tylenol. If you have a bit of a fever, take a Tylenol. It's great at bringing fevers down, and take it as soon as you notice that sign of mastitis. The other thing is, if you feel that it is really hot, really sore, um, one great thing to do is, if you have a pump, electric or manual, it doesn't matter, pump from that side. Try and pump from that side as much as possible, and also try and breastfeed from that side as much as possible. Um, you might think that if you have an infection in your breast, you can't feed your baby, but it's not true. It's not going to affect them in any negative way, so you can even pump and give them that milk. Doesn't matter. But try and pump from that side and breastfeed from that side as much as possible. You want to get it, moving through. It's blocked and infected. You want to get the milk unclogged, obviously, and moving. So you want to pump as much as you can. If you don't have a pump, that's okay. You can always hand express. Doesn't have to be for a really long time. Just maybe do it in more frequent intervals. That might help. The other thing is um, to get a hot compress. Not warm, not scalding, obviously, but pretty hot. And just kind of rest it on there. Maybe put a little bit of pressure if you want. And do that. I used to do it when I had mastitis. I would do it for 20 minutes sometimes. I would, put it on there and it would get cool, and then I would repeat it, and I would do it for quite a while. And it really does help. Or if you don't want to do that, you can stand in a hot shower, and that really helps to relieve the pressure and kind of get the swelling down and get it moving. The other thing is massaging the area. Even when you're breastfeeding, if you're breastfeeding that side, I kind of just went like this, and it just work your way down and out, and it really helps to, again, get it moving and getting the infection out. Um, so sometimes I would put a hot compress there and massage as well, or I would breastfeed and massage at the same time. It doesn't matter. So there's kind of 4 things to remember. So take a Tylenol if you notice that you're getting a fever. Try and pump, and if you don't pump or you don't have a pump, at least try and hand express. It really helps. Also, the hot compresses and massaging. Those 4 things, if you do those, they will really, really help. The second time I got mastitis, it never escalated to the point where I'd had before, and it really helped me a lot. The other thing is you need to get to any walk-in clinic. You could see your doctor, but walk-in clinic is faster. And just tell them that you think you have mastitis, get them to check it out, and they'll prescribe you a medication. I'm pretty sure I was on Keflex, I think that's what it was called. But you need to be on an antibiotic to fully get rid of this infection, so make sure you do that as well, because you really need to get that. Um, and I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. So, um, I just wanted to touch on the fact that the first time I had mastitis and I didn't have a pump yet, I bought a pump after that. Um, I didn't know that I was supposed to be pumping, or at least breastfeeding a lot from that side, and it got so infected that it went from like a quarter to a full half of my breast being infected, excruciating. Um, and it got to the point where I actually couldn't express any milk because it got so infected and so plugged up. Um, so really try and pump as much as you can, and as soon as you notice those symptoms, get on it, because the faster you get on it, the faster you're going to get rid of it, and you don't want it getting to the point where it's really painful, because this stuff's not fun at all. Um, and yeah, so I hope that helped you out, and I just feel like if I had known that at the beginning, I would have had an easier time with it. And yeah, so if you guys have had mastitis and you want to share your stories, just comment below. My experiences with mastitis were not fun at all, and I'm sure I've talked about them in previous videos, but yeah, or if you guys have any other suggestions on great ways to get rid of mastitis, also comment below to help other people out. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you later. Bye.